Hey, what's up? It's Rob Gordon, the wingman, out here at Seal Beach Jetty, where the prone foilers like to ride. I'm here to do a tutorial about what I like to call the Jibe. And I call it that because usually you only do it when you're in a lot of trouble. But before I get to that, I was out here to meet the AFS guys because they were doing a demo day. I told them about my 6 meter. I just popped it in the waves, and they said, hey, why don't you take the 6 meter Wilf that we have with us, Wilf that we have with us, and you can ride that until you figure out what you want to do for wings, which is awesome. I wrote this in AWSI, and I really liked it. And it's funny, I'm doing this video because I didn't think it was windy enough to ride, but once I pump this up, it actually feels like I could probably get on foil. But this is a really nice wing. It's got soft handles, so it's really good for beginners, but it's also really good for riding waves because it's really lightweight and it's stable. So it's really, really nice. The other thing too is these handles are really good soft handles. They're really ergonomic, and the middle handle has a pretty good balance. So you could ride one-handed if you need to and do one-handed tricks. But yeah, I really like this wing, and it's really cool of them to let me use it. They gave me this hat too. AFS has some really cool stuff coming out. They also have a new wing coming out pretty soon with a boom, and it sounds really, really nice. So Josh at the foil shop, he's carrying their stuff now. They have an amazing set of foils, boards, downwind boards, and even, really nice set of wings, and they have a really good price point on a lot of their stuff. They can set you up with a pretty good beginner package. They're not paying me to say this, but they did let me get this wing, so there's my disclaimer. I was down here to just advertise their stuff anyway for no reward because I really, really like their stuff. I think they're going to be one of the bigger brands in the next few years. They're already really big in Europe. So anyway, let's talk about the Gybe. There might be other names for this, like the behind the back Gybe. I'm sure I'm not the first person to do this, but it's something that I've had to figure out on my own. When you're out riding waves and you start going really fast, a lot of times you can end up with the wing behind you. And when that happens, sometimes if you're going really fast or if the wind is on shore, you're unable to bring the wing back around. In that situation, I happened upon this by accident. You can actually jibe behind your back to kick out of the wave and then hopefully survive and not get stuck in the shore break. And unfortunately, the wind is the backwards direction today, so I'm going to have to think for a second on what makes sense here. I had to pause the video, stop the video, because I can't figure out how to actually demonstrate this on land. The wind is the opposite direction from usual, and there's actually more wind than I thought there would be today, so it's making things really hard for me to show. Luckily, I have some footage already of this on the water, so I can use that to demonstrate. One thing you will need for this maneuver is a waist leash. You gotta have a waist leash so you can bring the wing behind your back. Technically, you could do it with a wrist leash, but it would involve some over your head nonsense that would probably be a real pain. Let's talk a little bit about riding waves. The wind is coming toward me, but I'm going to pretend that the wind is side shore, but I just want to show you something here. James Casey talks about how much he hates when he sees wingers ride a wave, luffing the wing out like this. In his opinion, that's not really wave riding. It's not the way to do it. He likes when you get the wing behind your back and you get kind of low, and then you're just kind of riding the wave. Right now it's working because the wind is coming toward me, right? Offshore wind. That's not how it really would be. It can work even with onshore wind, and the wing just kind of gets posted down behind you. So this is going to be more the situation when you would actually use this technique, right? You're riding along like this. I don't often use that riding style because I like to get footage, and for me to get footage, I need the wing up and the camera pointed at me, right? If the wing is dragging behind me in the water, I can't really get that good of footage. But I do have some new footage from going out recently on a good day at Topanga where I ended up riding like that. And it really is a cool way to ride the waves, right? The wing's behind you, and now you're able to just do whatever you want, carving back and forth, and the wing doesn't really get in your way or mess you up. I'm probably going to start riding waves a little bit more like that. It is really fun, but I talk about that because it goes into what I'm going to show you today. When you're on a really big wave and you're flying down the face, sometimes the wing will end up behind you naturally. When you're going that fast, you generate this apparent wind, and the wing just kind of ends up behind you. It's almost like this onshore wind that's happening right now, right? So now you're riding with this wing down. This happened to me the first time in Manzanita. If you check out my epic road trip wingfoiling in the Oregon coast, you'll see I was out there with these big rollers and just flying down these faces. And then the wing would get behind me because there was just no other option. I was going so fast. They were so steep that, and then I would get down and I'd be getting to the bottom of the wave and I'd see like the waves about to break behind me. And I did not want to end up in the shore break. But as I went to try and turn and jibe out, I had too much, apparent wind speed. And then the wing would kind of get into trouble. It felt like I was going to run over the wing if I tried to jibe normally because I was going too fast. So without anyone telling me this or suggesting this, it just seemed natural to actually bring the wing, switch hands, and jibe behind my back. Now, it's not going to work right here because there's onshore wind. But let me see if I can do it from the other angle. There might be too much wind. So from behind. We're riding down the wave, blah, 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 blah. We go to turn. And then the wing comes around the other side. And then you jibe out the other direction. That was terrible. Not very helpful to show it like that. Maybe I should be on a wing skate or something else. But I'm going to show you now some footage and talk through it and about how helpful this is.
Okay, so here you see I'm out on a pretty big wave day, onshore wind, and I'm using the behind the back to kick out of the wave there. See, I want to get out safely before it hits me. If I don't use it here, if you can barely see in the top right, here I try to like jibe sort of regular and the wing gets stuck and I have to sort of flip it over my head, and that was pretty hairy. It doesn't look bad right there, but I was about to get slammed if I missed that. And then here one more time, we'll take a look in slow-mo. So we're dragging the wing. Take your hand and bring the wing closer to your butt. Switch hands and then start bringing the wing around as you keep turning. And then you can even use your previous hand to push the wing around. And then you switch hands as you exit the jibe.
So one thing I would say, don't try this out on a giant wave the first time, unless you get into a situation like I did where you have to. Go out on a flat water day, and this is a really fun trick that you can try and do on the flat water when it's not even that windy, and just really getting on a glide and just letting yourself glide around. And sometimes the wing will flip upside down like this, and that's okay. Just glide around and then flip it over once you get to the other side and repower.
So here's an example of that. Yeah, you do need to keep the wing low and even sort of drag it along the water sometimes. If it does flip though, just keep gliding and flip it once you get around. This is the opposite direction from what we normally wing in the waves, but I'd like to practice both ways, and depending on where you ride, you might have to do it that direction. So let's look at it in slow motion, and then here you can see we're luffing the wing. We bring that back behind our butt as we turn. Here I'm switching hands right by my butt, and then look on the left, see my other hand is now sort of holding the wing steady as I continue the turn and glide around with speed. And then you're going to pull the wing forward, reach around, grab the front handle, grab the back handle, and then you're going to be good to go.
It's a really stylish flat water trick too. So sometimes I'll just do it when I'm trying to make a nice sequence. I love to connect you know, a couple of nice smooth moves. Like here I did a Heineken jibe. Then I did the behind the back jibe, the O jibe. And then what did I do after that? I did a attack, and then I did a flocka. So, you know, just trying to put in a few tricks into a row there. But yeah, another person I wanted to mention in this video is Kieran, KV Foil, I think is his Instagram. I'm not sure. He does really nice wave riding with the wing behind the back. He's got really good style. Just wanted to give him a shout out. He gave me a cool tip on doing the 360 on a wave, which maybe I'll do a video next on that. How to do the 360 on the wave. That's a really cool trick. Should I just do it right now? I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, that's the O jibe. And try it out. Tell me if you're already doing it. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if it's really not a very good video because I didn't do a good job of describing it. But you know what? These videos are for free. You get what you get. Subscribe to my channel. Click the notifications button. I don't know, whatever the YouTubers say these days. Peace out, guys, and hopefully we'll get some good footage riding this AFS Wilf soon.